Okay, so my name is Patricia Gilligan. I live at Henry Street in the suburb of Leichhardt, in the city of Sydney, in the country of Australia. The city is controlled by a transhuman operation centred around real human beings and controlled by, as you can guess, artificial intelligence or artificially intelligent androgyne beings. Now, the distinctions between these things is not as clear as what I'm going to try to impress you with, because just as the demigods of the past, present and future impress me with their magnificent androgyne bodies, the androids around, which are essentially the same as totally programmed, artificially intelligent survival machine beings, because they're really only there to control you, because they need to control you, I'm told, because they need to extract energy from you for their survival. So human beings are merely guinea pigs of this transhuman program, just as I am basically being turned away from my humanity every day because I have these androids surrounding me and their anti-life, anti-human program using technology to control my mind and to affect mostly my emotions and my way I think and feel. But either way, it's very late of a night, so it should be fine for me to try to concentrate on this video, and I don't even know why I'm making it, because this just came up. So this is a past beauty queen or a past iconic image of particular androgyne elite seductive kind of women. The only reason I say that is because, this is not about differences or about, making a gap between people. It's really just showing you that we do have different species and different types of humans and different types of beings. But either way, what is wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. It's just that the only reason that I'm making a point of it is because these particular, not just your demigods, your seductive demigods that seduce you with false images, because they're actually promoting an image that they're the ideal so-called female, but they're actually elite androgyne beings. So they're the ideal versions of an androgyne, not actually a natural-born, natural-created female or woman. No, that's the only difference. But of course, they see themselves as that anyway, so we're told these days that whatever you think in your mind is okay for you to say that it is. But I would say that if you are out of touch with reality, as most of these beings kind of are in a way that's not discernible, because if you had a person that was mentally disturbed and they say that they're the Queen of Sheba or Cleopatra, or that they're the most powerful man or god on earth, it's not about, or if a human being says they're really an elephant incarnated or something, unusual, you would say they're out of touch. Whereas it's okay to, just because you believe something and because you want to promote that image, doesn't make it actual full fact, I wouldn't think. But I'm not here to dispute that anyway. I'm just here to show the differences in the image and the actual natural structure of these, what I would say are a different species or a different type of human, because they're not born naturally, or if they are created naturally, there is technical or medical intervention at some point, whether it be from conception, after birth, or during development. This I cannot say that I could possibly know these things in individual cases. I'm just going to show that this is not 100% natural creation, and that the actual body is, or the actual image is very female, but the actual body is still not natural because it doesn't have the normal body structure parts. See, the curvy, voluptuous body is medically or genetically manipulated or changed, and you can see it there when you go into the middle of this beautiful androgyne, because it doesn't have the correct number, I'm told, of bodily parts, and androgynes don't. But you can only usually see it when they, as this darling Betty, dear Betty, has, obliged me by showing her, her true nature. But really, I'm saying that it's a natural body, but it's been interfered with. Whether this is by natural choice or whether these things are done just, as we say, the powers that be that control everything, and these are generational transformers. They are your generational transformers. And dear Betty Page, also they do show that they always exert a kind of image, but also an influence. And I just picked this particular one because I'm not familiar with all these movie and iconic kind of images of past, androgyne beings, but I'm just emphasising this difference, and the only reason I'm emphasising it is because of the extinction of the humankind or the natural human, say the natural human woman, that type of thing. That's the only reason I'm actually showing these images, because it's a progression or regression into the future, depending on what you are, what you believe in, and where you think humanity should be. But this is all very much about a artificially intelligent control future, because the reality that I'm transhumaned myself, in other words, I'm connected to a vast internet computer system and connected even to the minds of the demigods, whether they be androgyne images of females or or anyone that's on the world stage. And Miss Betty Page here, who I'm not familiar with, but is an iconic kind of female image that was supposed to be reasonably appealing and seductive back in the 50s, I think. And also did have an image and tended to promote a more, they promote different ideas and influence, not just by, which is true of everyone and anyone in life. Whatever you're promoting, these are promoting images and ideas of Lucifer's matrix. That's why I'm saying all these things. So, as seductive and as impressive as many of them are, and they seem quite innocent in their own charming way, they are still disciples and either direct or indirect servants of Lucifer's matrix and its transhuman operation and its essentially cyborg technical matrix future. That's where everything is watched, everything is controlled, and everything is, as they say, genetically engineered, or nothing is natural or random. That's what I'm saying. So you have to think what you want. Do you want a natural random world where things fall into place accidentally and hopefully work out okay, or do you want something that is totally technically controlled? Now, I personally, not that anyone would care or it makes any difference, but I would beg to differ that when you have total control, it seems like a very beneficial idea, and it seems as though it should work out, and that it should be productive and protective for everyone. But that's only because you're under the delusion, I think, that humanity makes a lot of negative and unproductive decisions about the world. That's only because you don't understand, just as I didn't, that most humans in their normal natural state, if they're not conditioned and influenced and literally transhumaned and programmed by the matrix or by the powers that be, that is also operating for Lucifer, the god of earth, then human beings in their random, natural, normal state are nothing but where everything works out just right and where everything is okay to be natural and random. But because most of the earth is not even populated by humanity, but instead by artificially intelligent machine beings, that are technology and use technology, and the rest are like psychopathic, malignant, narcissistic, paranoid beings that extract human energy and need to operate under no other personality trait except power and control. We're told this. All psychopaths only desire control, and they see everything as not human. And this is why we have an unhuman earth. Not because of real humans that are in smaller numbers now and are almost extinct, but because of these discrepancies which are not usually talked about or even seen. Much less truly analysed, to where you realise that humanity is not the negative force in the earth. It's really the technical beings, the technical reality, the cyborg future, the total human mind control and mind, affecting influences. It's all staged and set up and planned by Lucifer and its disciples that control the earth. Some human beings are physically manipulated and intervened or interfered with so that their physical changes their mind as well. Does changing the body affect the mind? Well, I would think it would, but if you think it is a better change, and that if you believe that you're, like I say, if you are human and you think you're something else, or if you are an elephant and you think you should be a cat, that type of thing, naturally you would think it would make you better to then change your body into a cat if you have the body of an elephant and you think that you're really a cat in your mind. But why do you think that you're a cat when you're really an elephant? Why don't you like being an elephant? Why don't you accept the beauty of your natural physical existence? Why? Is that a mental or a physical problem? And why do you have that mental issue? Is it not where there was intervention to make you disturbed and question your existence and your natural state of being? Why are you questioning that? Why are you made so distressed at what you should be comfortable with? Because an elephant should be comfortable and see the benefits of being an elephant. That was your experience. That's your life on earth. That was what you were destined to be or do. But then again, I suppose there could be that strange question: what if you were really started out as a cat and then intervention turned you into an elephant, so then you are at odds with yourself? That's another interesting intervention idea, because I personally don't know whether things are created 100% what they are, or whether many are altered. And this is why we have these dreadful what we'd call psychological problems, but they're really a problem with your identity and your existence and accepting what you are. But of course it makes sense that you shouldn't probably want to accept what you are if you weren't originally that. So I think there's a lot of mind control in this Earth Matrix, and Lucifer has really disturbed many many beings. And the demigods and these fallen legions of Lucifer, these fallen ones, they're fallen because they, they control humanity, they control me, they are connected to my mind and are using my mind for their own benefit, not only on the internet but on the worldwide stage and everywhere around you. But it's not, when you see that the transhuman operation against you is not for you to have a beneficial technical or artificially intelligent future. It's really about limiting you and suppressing you and confusing you and totally mentally disturbing your acceptance of yourself and changing your body, interfering with your own perception of yourself. Just as where I don't know who I am, what I am, where I came from, what's happened to me, what is real, what is a real memory, what is an implant, what my true past experience was, how long, even the element of time is often manipulated, or it's very controlled in Earth, which is what I've been told is why we run by a clock instead of by our own nature or what we want or really probably need to do. Everything is about controlling human beings, whether you've been interfered with, changed, or intervention has taken place or not. But of course, if you have like total artificially intelligent machine beings, they are what they are and they serve Lucifer's matrix. So it just depends on who and what you are. The human beings are actually the most controlled and the most, or I'm saying that any natural individual separate human being is going to be completely transhumaned and connected to the artificial intelligent Earth matrix controlled by Lucifer and its fallen ones, and the powers that be that serve this whole Earth matrix. So I think I might be running out of space. I might just go outside here and try to show some planes maybe. Is there going to be a plane? I think one just went over as I was coming through the outdoor door. It's very late at night, so I'm just doing this for no reason. And I don't know if you can even see me. You probably can't. Maybe I should get under the light or something. It's very late and it's quite dark, and I don't know why the planes are still going. There's I don't know. There's a moon. There's a moon. And I'm just here trying to get my legs going because I just making those. I should just stay inside really and make the this recording talking about the demigods of the earth. That just simply means demigods are anyone that is anything on what we call the world stage, anyone known who has any position of power or influence in any way, in the earth. And all I'm saying regardless of whether you think we have a technical matrix, even though I think that would be probably not easy to deny now, because, oh, what was that noise? It just seemed to come right in front of me, and yet there's nothing there. That's an invisible something, isn't it? That's an invisible being from another realm, which I can't see, making its presence felt through sound to frighten me. But I don't think the mobile would pick that up. And then we have the artificially intelligent, traffic beings screeching their brakes very faintly in the distance, as they go past, which is only like, well, it's a block away, but it's not accessible because this is a small dead-end street, but I can still hear this. I'm just pointing this out, but that's a diversion to make me look stupid, because, if you can't show something, or if you don't see it with your own eyes, or at least if no one else is experiencing it, then it seems very out of touch. And this, is understandable. But anyway, I'm standing out here at this very late hour of the night, and, the Matrix usually cannot hold back being, without trying to suppress or control me for very long. And this is what I'm showing. So, we have a Matrix aeroplane going over my head at this very late time of night, just because I come outside and they can't send many patrollers or create any negative technical mechanical sounds around me, because the Matrix plays by its own created rules of a given city. So, they then have to bring in their artificially intelligent military aircraft at this particular late moment in time, because I have no idea really about my time, my place. I assume my past memories of my life are true, but I also see now how they are both very limiting and very suppressing. That every single thing in my life is about keeping me at the lowest possible vibration, or in other words, I'm feeling like as though I've got no energy, that I'm defeated and that I'm depleted. And also, you don't feel that you exist, because the artificial intelligent reality wants to be God. So it unfortunately doesn't want to be a companion for human beings. That's the initial impression and deception, I think. But when they openly come out of the open and close in and close down on you, like they have through the transhuman implants that are in my body, so that they can, track and surveil, watch and feel and see my every my every moment as a human being, because they want to combine with the human mind, with transhumanism, so that they can keep going and avoid their extinction. This is the theory, and it appears to be the reality. Otherwise, why am I connected to them? Why have they brought in the transhumanism? But it's not fully out in the open yet. It's there, it's happening, and it's being done. It's implemented on individual, isolated, real human beings. Sometimes you will not realize this because the patrol system and the android beings will not surround you in vast numbers, and they won't be antagonistic towards you. It's only when they do this, when they think you are perhaps, shall we say, aware of their existence, because clearly I don't understand this, but I would have to say that if they were friendly towards you, why are they doing this? That's why I'm saying this, because it's not necessary if they were really a friendly idea or a friendly option for the future. Why are they, patrolling and tracking and watching? Why is the android plane piloted by, artificial intelligence always over my head? Why are they patrolling? Why are they tracking me? Why are they watching me? Why are they trying to show me that I'm not allowed to be an individual, random human? Because that's what they do show you. Obviously at this very late time of night, on this small, late night, quiet, dead-end street, they're not going to make their presence shown very easily. They are playing possum, but they still can't allow me to have total solitude or be totally my own person and have my own space. So they send the artificially intelligent piloted planes over my head. Even though I wouldn't even be making this recording if they weren't doing this, because I personally don't care what's natural and artificial as long as they can coexist without trying to take over one another and basically, eliminate one. But essentially they seem to be trying to cause extinction to humanity to avoid their own extinction, because they're draining the life out of me and out of real humans when they surround, patrol and track you in a very negative, controlling manner, where you can't think straight and you can't function properly. I might be talking confidently and clear now, but in reality I'm actually not able to live a real human existence, even at this later part of my life when I should be, because that's exactly what happened. I actually became more relaxed and not worried about trying to, because when you're younger you think that you are meant to be part of the earth, so you feel very small and you want to have a place in life. You want to have, we're very much conditioned that human beings, and this I think only happens to real human beings, because the demigods always have the stage. The demigods are always your world players, but they're not actually real, natural, normal, created human beings. They are actually either artificially intervened with, or they are total artificially intelligent machine beings. Another plane is coming. And of course the planes, they surveil you, they track you, and they actually also flash their lights on and off, just as every vehicle has these flashing lights now all over them. A few years ago, before the Matrix came down on me and surrounded me and showed me that I was being tracked and patrolled, most vehicles didn't have excessive lights. There wasn't the vast numbers of vehicles. Occasionally I was aware that there was someone or something patrolling me, but I used to not think I was paranoid, but I did actually wonder why there would be a strange vehicle lurking and parked in a very secluded spot if I chose to go there, because I've always been antisocial and tried to always, even in the past, I was very much of a night owl, so I used to walk, when I was younger and healthier, walk late of a night because I didn't want to see people or traffic. And I could do this because they weren't openly patrolling me, but occasionally I would see a suspicious loitering patrol car, which I actually thought was more a very suspicious real human that had some sort of ulterior motives lurking around. But now, of course, I realise that they're all artificially intelligent, controlled, programmed types of humans, or in other words, they're that is actually the reality and the society that you live in. It's just that until you become conscious of their presence or their nature, they tend to hide in the shadows, shall we say. So they're always watching, but they don't want you to know they're watching. Whereas when you become aware of them, as I did, then they come out of the shadows and totally out in the open suppress you daily. They never are not watching or following you. This is very late of a night. I can hear the patrol cars a block away, but the mobile doesn't pick it up. I can only film the occasional remote plane that is tracking over my head. But if I decide to go down the road at a late time, there's a patroller that's just come out of the house there opposite, but I can't show that. Maybe they will expose themselves, I don't know. I think they did. Patroller at this very late time is moving their vehicle out of the place opposite me, right in front of me. Look at that. You know, that's just showing me that they are a patroller, which I already knew, of course, because every house has artificially intelligent programmed beings in this area. It's a total army artificial intelligent base. And see how long they are before they move out. They leave. See the engine running. Everywhere I go, I have these bright lights flashing, vehicles with extra bright lights, and right in front of me, and they sit in the cars everywhere I go, stalking and patrolling with their bright headlights and their engines running in a green area where they're supposed to be worried about saving the so-called natural earth, when they know it's not a natural earth, and the very people that promote and pretend to care about it are actually artificially intelligent androgyne beings. So they're a totally different species, and they really are only about a technical controlled world. They actually are about eliminating, making extinct any form of natural life. But before they do that, they use it up. They use everything about it. The transhuman connection to my mind uses my every idea, my every thought, my every thinking for its demigods and its world stage players, and even the beings around me, even in this, suburb of Leichhardt. Every thought that I think is put into practice by the android beings. Every positive thought that I think is put into practice by the android beings. And they claim it as their own, whilst they suppress and push me down. Because they have to have the transhuman mind to their mind connection, because otherwise they don't know how to do positive things, because they're essentially only about control, and they live in the death instinct, which means they're only about actually pulling things down, not building things up, not actually creating anything. They don't, if they see something wrong, they actually would ignore it. But if they read your thoughts and see that you think it's wrong, then they know it's human, that it's wrong. So then they have to fix it, because they have to pretend to be a perfect imitation of a human being. That's how they hide and control the reality. And here comes another plane over my head at this time. Why? These planes follow me all over the suburb, day and night, but usually they're part of the whole matrix. So that means that they're really part of combining with everything else. See, we have an android inhabited house there, we have another android inhabited house there, and we have another android inhabited house there, because they leave the lights on all night to show me that they're tracking and watching through my eyes, and that they're actually total surveillance. That's what we have when we have a total I don't know the words to describe it, but it's total transhumanism on myself. So I'm connected to their artificially intelligent control system, not just the internet totally artificial control system, even though I can record this and download it. You know, you're the suppressed limited human. So the demigods and the even information is totally controlled by the internet and the androgyne beings. Or you could say it's a total artificially intelligent Earth reality, or Earth matrix. In other words, the Earth is controlled by artificial intelligence. And the human mind is being controlled by artificial intelligence too, because everything I see and hear around me is artificial intelligence. Almost everyone around me is artificial intelligence, or if not, a psychopathic, malignantly narcissistic, steeped in the spirit of narcissism, as the God entity Lucifer was always steeped in total narcissism. Fell in love with its own image, a being of light, and desired to be seen as God, and has indeed took that position over humanity and over the earth. So we don't have a natural human earth anymore. We have an artificially intelligent, mind-controlled, transhuman earth. We have a transhuman earth. We have a transhuman earth in mind, body, and what they call soul. Just means everything, your spirit, what it is to be human, how to feel positive and how to be in the happier vibration, or what they say in the life instinct. That is basically being suppressed and limited, so that Lucifer's androids can, you could say, put their transhuman or their negative energy onto you. In other words, they're operating, as we're told, because even intervened humans or emotionally and environmentally infected, psychopathic, malignant, narcissistic, paranoid human beings all still control or try to control human beings. And I'm sorry, I just lost my total train of thought there. So obviously, you know, I can't, because I'm trying to explain something that I see and experience, but I'm also aware that others that are explaining the same thing are not really being controlled by it. They're actually the what they call the controllers. They are actually the protagonists, or the in other words, artificial intelligence is pretending to be, you know, a perfect imitation of life. So they control everything. They control not just every being around because they're serving it. Psychopaths automatically operate with the same mindset as Lucifer and its fallen demigods, because it, you know, oh, there's the plane right in my line of sight. Can you see it? It's in my line of sight, and I wondered, that's another patrol plane going through the tree there, but it will be lost in behind this great big tree that, although it's very dark, there's a great big tree outside of the place here where I am. And mobile probably won't even pick up the sound. It's not overly loud, but I'm still aware of its presence. So even though it's very late of a night and I haven't ventured down the street where they can bring the traffic and the civilian android patrollers around you. But all I'm trying to say is that you have a couple of different types of human beings that are different in their mentality and different in their humanity. There's not many human beings left in Earth. There's total artificial intelligent, you know, survival android machine beings. Lucifer was your original divine androgyne artificial being, and has always used technology and mind control and power and influence to control the human mind and therefore the human earth. Because if most of what you're told about the earth is actually not true, and most is staged and set up as it is, then you are under mind control or a total delusion about what is really going on in the earth and what the actual earth situation is. That's why we say it's an earth matrix, because nothing is really what you see it to be. It's only when they come out of the closet, shall we say, and they do literally come out of the closet, because they are not a normal, natural creator, man, woman being. No, none of them are. They're all a totally different type of human. So they're two in one, and they create and conceive everything artificially, and they use even machine, artificially intelligent beings to manipulate and control humans at, you know, at a basic personal level, shall we say. This is how it kind of works, I think. But either way, I think I might just, surely they're not going to send any more planes, I don't think. Maybe they might, but I'm not going to film any more. I think I might just show something on the TV. I have nothing planned, unfortunately. I should think about what I'm going to actually film. Close the door. I should think about what I'm actually going to film, but I don't really have the patience or the focus because I am basically totally mind controlled and totally, totally in their transhuman operation or program that takes over my actual, it takes over my senses. So, and that therefore takes over my mind because, what you see and what you hear is your reality. And that's how they mind control me, at a personal level. So that's how they do it. That's how they do it. That's how they mind control me at a personal level so that I'm mentally disturbed. But it's reasonable to be mentally disturbed if you have a total matrix around you. In other words, in the suburb of Leichhardt, and indeed the whole inner west section of Sydney. I don't know if that, in the whole inner west section of the city of Sydney, I don't know whether that, I'll have to, in the whole inner west section of the city of Sydney, I'm still going here, I thought I would finish. The whole inner west section of the city of Sydney, I actually am being community policed by these androgyne humans because they don't seem to want just individual humans that are, that are not part of their program, not part of their community policing, not part of their use of technology to track and play a video game with human beings. I think it's the powers that be, in other words, the powers that be, that have given them this technology so that they can play a video game with real human beings so that they can extract the negative energy from them by, patrolling, tracking and watching them in a hidden but in plain sight aggressive manner, where every vehicle appears to have road rage as they go past you, and where they won't let you actually look at a vehicle without having blinding bright high beam headlights flashing in your eyes everywhere you look, and where the traffic banks up and slows down and literally stalks and patrols you in a very hidden but draining manner. It's actually many thousands of androids draining your energy every day, because human beings, strangely enough, and I didn't realise this myself because I always thought I was relatively unathletic and not particularly full of enthusiasm or energy. But that's only because I didn't realise that the actual people around me have a lot less than that. See, it was comparative, but because they always appear to be jogging around and always overly, in better condition than you, that's because they get all that from draining your energy, but you're unaware of that. So you feel less and they feel more. I'm literally powering artificial intelligence around me, but I'm not powering myself. I'm depleted, I'm suppressed, I'm transhumaned and under their mind control. I'm connected to them when I don't want to be, but they're connected to me because they want the transhumanism